All right, hey gang, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever the case may be, wherever you are. I'm going to start today's grammar lesson by giving you some examples. So I have three sentences on the board, and the first one reads, Our solar system has 9 major planets, only one is known to have intelligent life. The second reads, Marie is never interested in stargazing during the winter, however, on warm summer nights she often goes to the college observatory. And the third reads, some club members were late for the meeting, for example. Tanya and Scott came in at 9:30. Now, if you would have read those on your own, you may have read them and thought there isn't anything wrong with them, but hopefully you heard through my reading that there is something wrong with them. And that something is that they're all run-on sentences. So that is going to be our lesson for today, is run-on sentences, how to identify them, and then also how to correct them. First of all, I want to look at what a run-on sentence is. Now, by rule, a run-on sentence is simply a sentence that includes multiple independent clauses or thoughts without the usage of correct punctuation. And there's two common ways in which we see this occurring. The first is through the fusing, what's called a fused sentence, where a writer will take two independent clauses and just stick them together in a sentence without any kind of punctuation. Now, in your writing, this will occur quite frequently when, let's say, you're really passionate about something that you're writing, and you're just going at it, and you're getting all your ideas out, and at times, it'll all just kind of run together, and you won't stop to put punctuation in. That's why it's important to always go back and read your work and add punctuation. So in this first sentence, our solar system has 9 major planets, only one is known to have intelligent life. We have two independent clauses. The first is, our solar system has 9 major planets. That could stand on its own. It's a complete thought, so it's an independent clause. Same can be said for the second part of the sentence. Only one is known to have intelligent life. Therefore, we must somehow split up these sentences. Now, as you know from our semicolons lesson, there's 3 ways we could do this. The first way is we could put a comma in conjunction. So we could rewrite the sentence to read, our solar system has 9 major planets, comma, and only one is known to have intelligent life. We could make them 2 separate sentences. We could put a period after the word planets and then capitalize the word only. So they're 2 separate sentences. Then we also have the option of inserting a semicolon in between the word planets and only. It would still be one complete sentence, but the independent clauses would be separated. If we look at our second example, it shows how oftentimes comma splices are used or exist in run-on sentences. Some club members were late for the meeting. For example, Tanya and Scott came in at 9:30. Now, we have two independent clauses. We have some club members were late for the meeting. That's the first independent clause. And then the second independent clause is, for example, Tanya and Scott came in at 9:30. So same instance here. We need to make a split, and that split is going to be right here after meeting. So after meeting, we have the 3 options. We could put a period and capitalize the F to make it 2 separate sentences, or we could put a semicolon, and in this case you'll notice that the comma and the conjunction really doesn't work. Okay, so that option will not work. So you'll have to play around with each run-on sentence that you identify and determine what is the best option for you. So to help you to do that, I've provided 3 more sentences that I'm going to let you have a chance now. So right now I want you to pause the video, take a look at these 3 sentences, determine how you would fix these run-on sentences, and then hit play again, and you'll come back to me and I'll go through how I would do it and what would be considered correct. Alright, hopefully you've had enough time now to go through the practice sentences. The first sentence, Judy leads a charmed life. She never seems to have a serious accident. Now, hopefully the first thing you did is identify that Judy leads a charmed life is an independent clause, and she never seems to have a serious accident is also an independent clause. So we could say Judy leads a charmed life and she never seems to have a serious accident. You could add a period and capitalize the S, so it's Judy leads a charmed life. She never seems to have a serious accident. Or we could put a semicolon. Julie leads a charmed life. She never seems to have a serious accident. Now, personally, I would use the semicolon. However, in this case, really all three options work best. I would argue that the fluency of the comma and the and is probably not as high as the semicolon and the period option, but all three would work. Looking at the second sentence, it reads, the airport is about to shut down because of the snow, and if the plane doesn't land soon, it will have to go on to Boston. Now, what we have here is an independent clause. The airport is about to shut down because of the snow. An introductory clause, if the plane doesn't land soon, and then another independent clause, it will have to go to Boston. So what we have here is we have the split right where the word and is. So we have to keep the airport is about to shut down because of the snow intact. That part of the sentence must stay intact. So we could say, period, capitalize the I, and have it read, if the plane doesn't land soon, comma, it will have to go on to Boston. We could add a semicolon, or we could add a comma and an and. Now, in this case, both, if you have the comma and or the semicolon, you're still left with this other conjunction over here. And what that does is, if you have really long independent clauses, both before and after the semicolon or the common conjunction, it can decrease the fluency. So in this case, while they are once again all correct, I would argue the best option would be to make it two sentences that would read, the airport is about to shut down because of the snow. If the plane doesn't land soon, it will have to go on to Boston. And lastly, Coach Espinoza really wants this job with Notre Dame University. She is very excited about returning to the college she graduated from. We already have the comma. Now, hopefully you identified this as being a comma splice error. So we know that there's a couple ways that we can correct that comma splice error. Really, what's nice about the comma splice error is that it identifies where the correction needs to be made in the run-on sentence. So we could do our three options again. We could have a period, capitalize the S, and we have two sentences. We could have a semicolon, or we could have a comma, and in this case, I would argue it's a because. It explains why she really wants the job. And that is the option I would choose. Coach Espinoza really wants this job with Notre Dame University because she is very excited about returning to the college she graduated from. Once again, all three of those would be correct, but I would argue that this is more fluent than the other options. All right, now on to our mastering activity. If you go to the website, there is a document that will have 10 examples of run-on sentences. For each of these run-on sentences, I want you to correct the run-on problems in a way that you deem to be both fit and fluent. And then once you have corrected those sentences, I want you to submit them to me. As always, if you're having some kind of trouble with this, please let me know and I will come and help you out. Hopefully this will help you increase the fluency of your writing, and I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. All right, have a good day.